Hello everyone, welcome to my simulation project presentation. Today I am going to be presenting on my simulation of the Epcot Food and Wine kiosk simulation. My name is Tyler. So just before we start, to give you a little outline of how the presentation is going to go, first I'll start with the project background, move into the scope and objective, show you guys how I constructed my model, the animation that went into my model, give you a little demonstration of my model, give you a little bit of the results, and we'll end with some conclusions. So just to give you a little background on the project, so I am looking at how the simulation of the Florida Farm Fresh kiosk goes at the Epcot Food and Wine Festival here at the Walt Disney Company. I studied the kiosk between the hours of 4 and 10 over 2 different days. The first day I looked at the full process of how a customer goes from the queue line all the way through ordering their food, receiving their drink, food item, and or both. And then the second time I recorded the data to see what the percentage of time that a guest was to order drinks and food, or drinks not food, or just food, to help with my simulation. The problem defined here is we're looking to get more guests through the lines during these hours and to find a more efficient way of serving the guests at these kiosks. Also, every kiosk around the World Showcase is set up in a different way so that we can look and see what the best and most efficient way of building these kiosks are. So the scope and objective. So the idea for this project is to take the time studies on how long it takes for a guest to get through the entire process, find the best fit needed to get the job done, and then look at adding a second queue line along with more registers. So the way that the line works is you go through the queue line, you pay for your food and or drink, and if you get a drink, then you first go to the drink station, and then if you get food as well, you go to the food station. Or if you don't get a drink, then you can just go around the drink station and get the food. So here is a look at how I created the simulation. So like I just said, you enter the Florida Farm Fresh kiosk. You would then wait in line, which is a part of what we are looking to extend and make another of. And then next you would order the food from one of the registers, and in this case we're only using one register. And then next you're making a decision on if they ordered a drink or not. If they ordered a drink, then you would go to the next resource, which would be for you to receive the drink. If not, then you would go and you would receive your food and leave the kiosk. So going back to receiving the drink, if you receive the drink, then the model makes another decision. Did this person order food as well? And if they didn't, then they just leave the kiosk after receiving their drink. And if they did, then they would go and they would receive their food, and then they would leave the kiosk. Here's a look at the animation that I used for this process. And just like I said before, first you would wait in line, which is the double-crossed hairs. And then you would proceed to the register to order your food, and then you would make your way along the line towards the drink station if you ordered a drink, and if you didn't, or if you did both, then you would move on to the food station, and then you would go past the line out of the queue. So now I'm going to demonstrate my model. Let's see how well I can do this because I'm using the remote server. Okay. So exactly like I said, let's see if it runs using all the internet that I have available. Excuse why it takes a minute. Using a Mac, you have to use the remote server for Arena. While this is checking, I'm going to go ahead and finish the presentation. Let's see. So the results of this are that the output of customers would be greatly increased with the number of increased registers and the addition of a second queue line. So essentially what would happen is that from the other side of the food station, we would mimic and mirror this layout. So on the right side of the food station, we would have a drink station, and to the right of that new drink station, we would have another register, as well as a queue line that extends into these three items. Again, the conclusion is the suggestion is to give a second queue line to the system as well as another register. Adding these resources to the system will allow for the entity to go through the system faster as well as more output. One of the other suggestions that I had originally made was to combine the drink and food station, but it actually made the system go a lot slower. Some of the other kiosks at the Epcot Food and Wine Festival do that layout, as well as those items. There's also some other economical items that you could do to make these go faster, is maybe shortening the menu to make the entity or the customer go through faster, and also that would allow for less variety for the customer. It would make them just go to the counter, order the two items that are on the menu, and then go through the line. That's all. Let's see if you have any questions and you post in the discussion. Let's see if I can get this to go. And it looks like it ran. So I'll just walk you through this because of the way that I had to go through Arena on the remote server. Just like before, you would enter the Florida Farm Fresh kiosk, you'd wait in line, you would order your food. If you ordered a drink, then you would receive your drink. After receiving your drink, did they order food? If so, you would receive your food. If not, then you would leave the kiosk. If you ordered food, you would obviously leave the kiosk after you got your food. If they didn't order a drink, then they got in line for a reason, so they would have to receive their food, and then they would leave the kiosk. Thank you guys for your time, and I apologize for not having Arena on my computer because I do have a Mac. But please post any of your questions in the discussion. Thank you and have a great day.